It's truly a rewarding experience. And I got to meet Steve back then. He was one of the original people I met. And then Glenn has just rejoined us. He's an older member from a long time ago before I was on board, and he has re-enlisted and has joined us again. And as you see on your agendas, I will be talking about the warm-up, or the introducing and engaging your audience. Steve is then going to present on, Glenn is second. Glenn is going to be doing the body speaks, and Steve will be doing vocal variety. So that is kind of the layout of the land. We're going to talk for approximately 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're going to have a Q&A for about 5 minutes after that with each of our sections. So I'm going to kick off with my introduction. So welcome, everyone. There is a quiz right now. There's something that Toastmasters do when they walk in a room and there's a guest. They do this. When they change people in front of the audience, they do this. And they often do it voluntarily at the end of the meeting to say congratulations on a great speech, or that was a great meeting. It's something we do probably somewhere between 6 and 12 times throughout the meeting. Does anyone have any idea what that might be? Applause? We do a lot of applausing. Yes, we do that. It's actually the handshake. We do that to transition between roles. Whenever we call someone up, we handshake with a person. What's interesting about handshaking is it actually creates an emotional connection to people. So I would encourage you to incorporate handshaking into your training. There was a study that I found. It's a really old study. In fact, it's so old it involves phone booths and dimes. It's from 1977. But they did this experiment where someone was coming out of the phone booth and someone would walk in and find a dime. And inevitably, if the person walking out of the phone booth had just even slightly touched the arm of the person going in, 80% of the time, the person would stop the person and return the dime. 80% of the time. If the person did not touch that person, the exact opposite was true. 80% of the time, they simply kept the dime. So I would like each of you, even though you know each other very well, imagine that you are your soon-to-be volunteers for the upcoming election. I would like you, in a second, to stand up and greet each other. But I do have some guidelines. If you have cold, if you have arthritis, if you are uncomfortable touching someone else's hand, please feel free to just give someone an elbow. That's perfectly acceptable. Okay? So, all right, on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, please everyone stand and greet the person first to your right and then to your left. Don't just say, another guideline. Don't just shake each other's hands. Please say your name. Tell them how long you've been doing this. And just say hi. Hi. Much more enjoyable for everyone. Another suggestion is, and I'm going to have you play along with me, I brought some prizes for anyone who would like to share a tale of a memorable experience that occurred when they were volunteering or training. Something in 1 or 2 sentences. Please keep it brief. But tell us your name. Tell us in 2 sentences. Okay, that's right. Please stand up, tell us your name, and tell us the
My name is Suzanne, and my story is I was doing a presentation to a group of people. We were demonstrating to them how to do events. They were going to take this back and do them in at their own facilities. And it was called Foolproof Special Events, and our slide projector wouldn't work.
That's great. Okay. Suzanne, you have your pick. I have pieces of paper that say, "You're terrific, thanks for sharing," with stars on them. And then I also have candy. I figured during the real training, you probably can't afford all the candy. So just a slip of paper saying, "You're terrific, thanks for sharing," might just do the trick. So please pass that back. Does anyone else have a tale that they would like to share? Anyone? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Demetra, and while I was training a class of people for the election, I stood up and started talking, and I'd forgotten to turn off my phone, and suddenly my phone started doing my son's ring that went, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy." I've remembered since then.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, pass it back. I think you should get 2 pieces of candy.
My name is Carl, and I was present when Suzanne found out she had no PowerPoint at South High School, and I watched her do a presentation. She sat on the stage and did it perfect without PowerPoint.
That's great. That's great. Pass the candy. Yes.
My name is Heather, and I have been working very, very hard with our school. My kids go to Licking Heights to get them into Youth in the Booth, and we are going to be in Youth in the Booth in the fall. Yes!
Yep, okay. The basket has stopped. We need to get it moving. Pass it back and forth. All right, so that was just an example of how you can engage your audience. Another thought was, in case you have people that you're not really comfortable opening it up to the floor to your volunteers, actually I'm sure they would do a great job. You just have to have the confidence to do it. You might just ask them, who has been doing this for over 15 years? Please stand and acknowledge those people. And have the audience look at them so that they can know their faces. And then have your newbies be recognized. Have them stand up so that they can recognize their faces. And if they have any questions, they'll be able to make that connection. See them as set the older ones up to be mentors to the younger ones. Make the younger ones feel comfortable in knowing that there are people that care about them, that want them to be successful. All right, my time is totally up, but I do have a Q&A, and if you would like, before we go into the Q&A, I'd like you to talk with someone next to you. Just pair share for a minute, 30 seconds, and then we'll start with the open talking. So please, pair share. Pair share. Please share with everyone. Now you're all quiet? Seriously?
I don't understand your question.
The question is, I want to know what you can share with the group that you felt you learned or gained from this presentation. What you might be able to implement.
Oh, I will acknowledge people for their years of service.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
We talked about the handshake would be much better in the roster paper training because we have a small cohesive group where they have the opportunity to get to know each other for the next 2 hours. So that establishes a rapport, just like you did with the arm.
Right. Okay. Anyone else have anything else or question? Yes.
We were just discussing that one of our issues right now is time. It's critical in our presentation setting. And everything we just talked about adds time. And then one thing you mentioned is it increases the energy in the room. But what else do we gain from that makes it worthwhile to spend time this way? And I'm not arguing that it's good.
No, it just makes it more enjoyable. It just engages your participants more. That's really the whole purpose. It's not really. It's always best to engage people first and then have them learn. They're much more receptive to learning if they feel that they are part of the process.
And I guess that's what I meant.
And the connection, and making the
training
connection
more effective.
Yes, training has been shown to be more effective if people are engaged. Almost any training you do has like an icebreaker component to it. Yes.
Just a thought about the handshaking. I'm thinking about how I normally kind of, what am I trying to say? You've got people coming into the classroom, and you've got a class of 40 folks, and you're a presenter, and you've got people coming into the classroom, and a lot of times we're setting up, or we're out at the registration table kind of seeing how many people are coming in, and what it looks like, but thinking I could take myself, instead of taking myself out of the room where the people are being sent to, if I stay in that room and greet the people as they come in, or go from table to table and introduce myself, rather than kind of hanging back and then all of a sudden turning on my microphone and, hi, I'm Tracy, just engaging them in just that little way might help some of those people that have been there forever and gone through this training. How many times let some of their guard down?
Yeah, that's exactly right, because it does. Because when you make that connection with those people, then they will be rooting for you. So they want you to succeed. When you've made that connection, they will want you to succeed. Okay, great.
So I totally validate your point. I've been doing this for a little while, and so just coming in now, I've seen some of these faces, and I've gotten a chance to meet them. And so when I see them, it's like we're best friends already. I'm like, oh my God, I know you. Hi. It just takes the whole nervousness out of it when you connect with someone. You shake their hand, you meet them, you say hi, you get their name, then you feel like you know them. And so when you are in that little kind of nervous situation, you can immediately go to those people because you can count on them having that friendly face, like, hello, how are you? And then you're able to kind of step outside of your comfort zone and meet other people too, because you already feel like you know a core group of people. You're not the outsider. You're like the in crowd now.
That's really great. Thank you for your comments. Yeah.
When Jim was talking about time, I noticed he had a timekeeper over there. He gave visual cues. So you think it's better to have somebody else keeping time for you as opposed to you keeping your time? Like you got 45 seconds.
Yeah. We do it. It's a Toastmaster thing.
Okay.
We time all our speeches, all our presentations are timed. In fact, every role in the meeting, we have various roles. We have evaluators speak. Everyone pretty much is timed in Toastmasters, and for part of our training, it really helps keep you on task and be mindful of people's time, because if there is one thing that an audience will do, they will turn you off if you go over what they are comfortable listening to. If they're prepared to listen to you speak for an hour, by gosh, you better just be up there for an hour, or they will be unhappy with you. Anything else? All right, this was great. Thank you all very much for my presentation. If you want, you can pass the basket around.